Alright, good morning everybody. Getting started a little bit early here. There is such a delay. I've got the auto delay turned off for my live stream settings, but yeah, it's lagging by like at least 45 seconds or so. Anyway, so we're here. Thank God it's Saturday. Jeez, this week was rough. Away we go. So, good morning, everybody. Good morning, Dana. Thank you for getting the lights this morning. Rune International. Next in, James, Dark Arts Lockpicking. Glad to hear you're feeling a little bit better. Alpha Centauri, Guten Tag to you. Night Owl, good morning. G Key Man, on the road. Nice to see you here, though. Glad you're listening in. Let's see. Looks and sounds good. Audio and video good. Away we go. Awesome. So, yeah, like I was saying, this week has been just rough. I mean, we've been busy. Every single day. Yesterday, I was at the shop a total of maybe 20 minutes. The rest of the day was just go. And, hey, Legless Lockpicker. Good afternoon to you, sir. I'm not, and to reply to your comment, I'm not going to kill any medicos. For one, they've become a little bit easier for me to get, just whenever we swap out somebody's systems. In fact, we are going to talk about some high security cylinders today. That's what I pulled out, and but anyway, no, I'm not going to show how to drill it or anything like that. I eventually one day I will drill a Medico cylinder. I've drilled a Medico cam cylinder before, and that took a little bit of doing. But I think with the right drill bits, it would be better. But I'm not going to drill anything today. The drill's not even in here. I keep my toolkit in the trunk of my car during the week, just in case if we get like a last minute lockout call, towards the end of the day, and it's on my way home, I'll stop and grab it real quick. And so, of course, you always want to have tools just in case, and that's what I do. So, anyhow, Firefighter 1241, good morning. Kurt O, Lock and Key, good morning. But yeah, this week has just been, it's been rough. Everything I've touched either took 10 minutes or it turned into a Monday morning traffic jam. I mean, it's just, it's ridiculous. Y'all saw the picture that I posted of the door, the lever set in the door. That one came in Thursday. And I didn't get there till like right at 5. And normally we're closing up the shop, leaving to go home at 5. It wasn't that far away from the shop, but still, it was 5 o'clock before I got there. And like I said in the caption, they said the door going, it was a HOA area, like a HOA pool fitness center, for the community, and the local codes require that all access points, all doors and gates leading to the pool area must be self-closing and self-latching. And of course they were trying to open up their swimming pool by this weekend, and they said, the door's not latching, please make repairs. Got there, and I took a look at it. I parked where you were supposed to, because you weren't supposed to park on the street right near the front door going in. I parked around back in the parking lot. Carried my tool bag, Houdini, air, all that good stuff, impact. Figuring, it might be a strike adjustment or something. I get there, open up the door, and I look at it, and I just busted out laughing. I just started laughing and snapped a picture of it, sent it to Lady Boss, and I called her on the phone and I said, "Did you get that picture I just sent?" She said, "Let me look." It came through and she looked. She and I both just started out laughing. No wonder that it wouldn't latch, because there was no latch. And if you zoom in closely enough, if you're able to see it in the picture, I think you are, the lock body itself was turned where the retractor was on the inside of the door. So your latch is supposed to be here, but the retractor was over here. The levers were installed correctly. They just put the body in there backwards. All right, thanks, Night Owl, for the posting the link to the picture. Let's see, who else is here? Miko Wolf, good morning. Dave Adion, Hop Skippity, good morning. Brian Field, good morning. Yeah, it was a week like that. Yesterday I had a job. It's third job of the morning, actually, and I get there. Is rekey supposed to be 5 to 8 cylinders. It was actually 9 doors. Front door had just a deadbolt and a handle set. All the rest had levers and deadbolts. All Baldwin Hardware. Now, if you've ever worked on Baldwin Hardware, you know what I'm talking about already. But if you haven't, Baldwin makes some pretty hardware. But Baldwin is a pain in the ass to work on. Just because you have to take apart about twice as much to get to the cylinder as you do on any other residential lock. I mean, you've got screws to hold on cover plates, you've got grub screws to hold the knobs and levers on in some cases, and you've got to take all that shit off just to get to the screws that hold the cylinder in place. Levers are a little bit easier because they come apart just like any other lever. You put your key in there, turn it, use your pokey tool, pull the lever off, and you got the cylinder. So not too bad. But I actually did that in record times. 3-story house, and they had locking levers and deadbolts on the 2nd story porch. There are a couple of you. I don't see Jay in here yet, but I sent him and Jeff Moss a link, private link. I'm not going to share it publicly, of course, but privately sent them a link to the house, and yeah, they had a 2nd story porch with levers and deadbolts, and they hadn't been maintained, so they were gummy and sticky and everything else. But I wound up, actually, I made really good time on that, if I do say so myself, because for 17 cylinders, 3 floors, 9 doors, I actually got everything keyed, taken off, back to the truck, pinned up to the new key, reinstalled in about an hour and a half, which that's moving. That's moving pretty good. But yeah, that and then the next job I went and it was working on a storefront, which I worked on Thursday as well. And I've still got to go back to finish up the back door and doing some other stuff. There's some rekeying. But it was basically converting a door that had been an emergency exit back into a main entryway. And whenever the previous tenants had converted it to an emergency exit only, they had a DTEX exit device on there, which is the alarmed, it's DTEX value series alarmed exit device. They covered up the Adams Right mount. Well, it had an Adams Right body with a hook bolt in there. And so I figured, well, I'll just convert that to, I'll just pull the exit device off and unplug the holes that they plugged and, put my cylinder, my thumb turn in, and we'll be good to go. No. No, apparently they had an Adams Wright dead latch in there. And, so, fortunately I had an extra dead latch on the truck and a paddle operator, which the push paddle for the Adams Wright, one day when I take one of those off, because I know not all of you have seen it, when I take one of those off and it's kind of crappy, but, decent, I'll bring it in and show you guys. But anyway, had to convert it back to that because of the cutout in the frame. The bolt was hitting low on the cutout, and they had a latch plate installed and everything. So anyway, had to do all that, redo some stuff. So yeah, it's been one of those weeks. Jason Meeks in the house. What's up? Jason, and when you start your live today, see if I don't know if you run your chat through the YouTube studio or if you do it through your Streamlabs or what, but the YouTube studio was acting a little bit funny for me this morning. I had to open up the chat in the pop-out window just to be able to see it. It doesn't show any activity or give me anything really to click on other than the pop-out feature for the chat. So anyhow, just keep an eye on that this morning. See, Alan Corson, good morning. It's a solid time for Baldwin. Always seems to bunch of them on the house. Yeah. At least it's not MTech, Which, I know MTech and Baldwin are similar, but I really don't like MTech. And these Baldwin deadbolts were the kind where you've got the two little screws that hold the inside trim plate with the thumb turn. So you got to take that off, and then you've got to pull the actual through bolts for the cylinder. Yeah, just a pain in the ass. The retainer pins, let's see, regular or heavy duty. For the Adams Wright Night Owl. Yeah, a lot of this, it's a lakefront house, and Jason, I'll send you a Twitter message after we're done, and send you a private link to that house so you can see it. But yeah, it was actually a lakefront house, so a lot of them not only had regular weather and wear and lack of lubrication and maintenance, but it also was westerly facing over the lake, so you had the heat, humidity, direct sunlight, all kinds of good stuff. Just really gummed them up, which they're planning on completely renovating the house anyway. Wasn't that bad. There were some that were kind of a pain to get back on, but I got them back on. They work. So, Jeff, good morning. No worries about being late. We've not even got cranked up yet. See, the 4590 or 4591. I think it was the 4590 that I put on there, Night Owl. I can't even remember, really. Typically open the video in a new window, then pop out the chat, then the stream. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, it was just acting kind of wonky for me. Not normal. Let's see, spring design 4590 is terrible. Yeah. Yeah, I had a brand new one, but I had to rehand it, so you've got to take that little plate off, and of course take your springs out, and then take your latch assembly out, and then flip the actual latch, reinstall your dead latch on there, put it all back in, put your springs back in, hold it together, and you got to use like 3 hands to do it. But yeah, I mean, it's not horrible. Chat work fine. Okay. Okay, cool. Half a can of lubricant later. Yeah. Yeah. Well, all the cylinders got lubricated. And I lubricated some of the locks as well that were really, really sticking. But, yeah, M-Tech, when you have 12 deadbolts with that floppy dust covers, yeah. Yeah, those suck. I had a quick set knob that I pulled off yesterday. It was definitely a lock that we lost this week. To borrow Jason's little thing. Yeah, it was worthy of throwing. When the spindle is broke off inside, yeah, you're not fixing that. And I'm not, like, I've got, I think, a couple of quickset spindles in the truck, maybe somewhere, just in case for an emergency. But when it's gotten, I mean, the outside was beat up, the inside, of course, was broken all to pieces. I'm like, no, this ain't, no, we're not, I'm not fixing it. Because if you take something like that as a locksmith and you fix it, this is my opinion, if you fix it just enough to make it work again, you know, you warranty your work, unless if you go through having them sign a disclaimer and all that stuff before you do it. And I just said, look, it needs to be replaced. And, you know, I had a passage lever on the truck, put that on, because we don't carry quickset stuff on the trucks except for spare parts that we might take off that are good during a swap out. And we have just a few spare parts. We do have some quickset stuff in the shop, again, just for emergencies, for customers who it wouldn't make sense to switch everything out, or they don't want to have one Schlage key and a quickset key. But yeah, I mean, if you're a locksmith and you're just starting out, don't try to repair stuff like that that's obviously broken. Just sell them a new one, because if you don't, they're going to call you a week later and say, hey, this lock doesn't work now. You know, come fix it. So you drive out there for free, take it off, fix it up a little bit again for free, and all that free time that you're spending there is time that you could be making money somewhere else. So save yourself the headache and the money. Let's see. Oh, cool. Legless is giving away 3 Berg Voctors. I think I've got a Berg somewhere in here. Just a small one. Leon's Lockpad gave it to me years ago. I think it was him. Let's see. See, the 4590, if you bend the spring cover plate so that the edges bite into the body so that they don't fall off constantly. Yeah. As long as you replace a broken quickset with a high security lock, it's a good fix. Or, as long as you replace a quickset with an actual lock. Yes, I like that. I mean, and we tell people, the residential hardware that we stock is Schlage. And we stock that for a reason. You know, we don't really do LSDA. I won't get into that, but, you know, we don't do that. We sell Schlage for residential. We don't do Yale. God help. I did one the other day. One of the 5-minute jobs was complaint from a realtor said, you know, put the key into the deadbolt and the cylinder just spins when you turn the key. Doesn't lock or unlock. Broken tailpiece. Get there, replace the tailpiece on the cylinder because it was a Yale lock, and it was kind of one of their funky, like, modern style trims, so nothing that I had in stock would match it, because they had a handle set in the deadbolt. And I mean, I replaced the tailpiece, and it works just fine. And I told the realtor when I called him to say, hey, you're done, I said, recommend to whoever buys it that they replace it, because it was just kind of that gaudy, like yellow, rose-ish, offish, goldish type color. I said, just tell them to replace that with something that looks better and make sure that it's made by Schlade. I hate Yale residential hardware more than I do Kwikset. Honestly. It sucks. Saw the CLK post about the 80 smart key locks needing rekey. Didn't know there was even 80 different key combinations in Kwikset. There's the for the smart key, there's only, what is it, Night Owl? Like 258, 265, like factory key differs for smart key. I mean, you can make it work with others, but it's not recommended. But yeah. The powder coat brass, yeah. Morning, Jay. About time you showed up. You're late. I'll dock it out of your pay next week, though, so you're good. Wow. Now I had a rekey job. It was first job of the day yesterday. That was Kwikset. It was smart key on the front door, deadbolt and lever, and then there were two other doors. So I had a deadbolt, knob, and then just a knob. They were regular Kwikset cylinders. And rekeyed all that, but I told the lady, I said, hey, because they just bought the house, and I said, as you get projects, you just moving in, you're gonna have projects to do. I said, in the next year, I would recommend replacing this Kwikset hardware, just because, it was still working, it was still functional, but I said, it's unreliable. And anytime we rekey smart key cylinders, we tell them, say, we cannot guarantee that this will work, because, sometimes, we've had people call us up and say, hey, I tried to change it and it failed, or I changed it, it worked, and now a week later it doesn't work all of a sudden. And that just, yeah. See. Ace Hardware is still lowest man on the totem pole there. Yeah. Our Ace, we actually had a guy. There's the Ace Hardware, literally just a block down from us, and one of their employees brought us some locks to rekey, and like he had bought them for his house because he got a discount there, and I think were they Kwikset? I think they were Kwikset, but it was something wrong with them or something like that. Anyway, we basically told him, said, look, we opened it up, we looked at it, it's not going to work with what you want to do. It was something weird like that. And basically said, we understand you're buying from Ace because you get the employee discount, but buy something decent. and he did. He took him back, got his money, bought something different, and brought it back to us. But let's see. Theoretically it's more, but because of tolerances, they're effectively 258 unique biddings because there's so much slop. Half-step cuts will work. Gotcha. New 2-panel solid core doors going in your house. Awesome. Yeah, Jay, if somebody was installing doors in my house, if I hired somebody to do that, I would not be watching while they were doing it. I would come out here and hide and when they said, okay, we're done, then I would go in, I would look, and I'd say, no, you're not, because you did that wrong, redo this, and why is my door dragging when it's brand new? So I don't blame you. Dumb people putting smart locks in. You know, it sounds nice. It is great marketing on Kwikset's, part that, hey, you can rekey your locks yourself. And they do sell the rekey kits at, Lowe's and Home Depot online. You can get them, and, with your new keys and your reset tool, and, do I even have one of those reset tools here? No. I keep a little, I need to bring it in. It's inside. I'm not walking inside to get it, but I keep my little key fob for the shop on a little mini carabiner clip. Goes in my little watch pocket in my pants, and attached to that I have a collection of sharp, pointy, pokey things on there. So I'll show that one day, but one of those pokey things is a Kwikset reset tool. But yeah, smart keys just, ugh. See, referring to their locks, of course. Gotcha. Yeah, actually, I will say about Ace Hardware's padlocks. Where is it? Well, shit. No. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. I mean, I know it's the clone of the American 700 series and the Brinks. Brinks and Ace have this, both with their branding on it. That's a good padlock. I mean, the Ace 527 or the Brinks, I think it's 527 for Brinks as well, but that's a good padlock. This one in particular was mangled by me learning how to pick. But I mean, that's decent. And for what they were selling them for at the time, I'm sure they've gone up. It was a decent padlock. But residential hardware, yeah, no, Not seeing a Kwikset smart key? Wow, James, we'll have to fix you up. Watch pockets for the XS Cobras only. Good morning, Nate Godden. So you got a 7-door smart key rekey first thing Monday morning. As much as Locksmiths, as much as we talk shit about smart key, it is kind of nice when you show up to a house and they're all smart key and they have a working key that goes to all of them. Because, I mean, you're in and out pretty quick. Provided everything goes right, you're in and out pretty quick on that. Now, and because of that, we actually charge a little bit less for rekeying those. But again, in our line item on our invoices, because it's all electronic how we do it, thank God we don't have to handwrite invoices. But anyway, it does have a disclaimer about not being guaranteed. But we do charge a little bit less because when it does work and we go in there and everything goes smoothly and you've led a good, clean life and didn't go wild on the weekends, then you're in and out pretty quick. See. Good morning, Lockpicking's gal. Glad to see you here. Siege. Gumby. Can't stick around. Got the box from Anthony. Haven't not opened yet. Awesome. Well, I will watch for that. Definitely. Yeah, the Ace 527 is a good little padlock for $30. And it's very tricky to pick. And there was, if y'all remember, a few years ago, right after I bought the house, kind of went on a little kick about picking locks in, a real world scenario. And that's because somebody, there was a lock sporter, doesn't make videos anymore, but he picked one of these in his little vise, sitting at his desk, and managed to pick it fairly quickly, because he's a great picker. And he said, well, it's absolute junk. I would never use it, ever. I'm like, the construction and the weight, yeah, it would take longer. It's pretty good padlock, ball bearing mechanism, thick ass shackle. Yeah, it'd work. He's like, nope, any lock that can be picked in 30 seconds or less is junk. I'm like, nah. Because, all of us out in the field, we know that there are quick sets that can give us trouble. So yeah. Let's see. Yeah, the Cobra XS, I might need to get some. I started carrying a Leatherman tool with me about 6 months ago. This Leatherman multi-tool. And it's come in handy when, I don't grab the whole tool bag to come in with me. And I've got, a screwdriver and a shrum tool, and that's about it. Pick kit. It's nice to have that pair of pliers. And a knife blade and screwdriver, etc. Because there have been some things where we walk in just to do an estimate and didn't grab a screwdriver. Grab a tape measure, but not a screwdriver. So, I've got it on me. But, small pair of pliers that can go in your pocket like that might come in handy. What I also need is, I don't know if they make them, but it would be really cool to have like a pants pocket liner, like heavy duty liner that you just put in your pants pocket. Because obviously your back pockets are your primary tool bag. And if you keep putting shrum tools in your back pocket, for one, you never forget that it's still in your pocket after the first time that you do. You always make sure to check. But after a while, like the pants that I wear Wrangler work pants a lot of times, and it just kind of poked and tore a hole into the pocket. And now if I put anything in the back pocket of that one particular pair of pants, a whole screwdriver, this size will wind up falling down my leg and out by my shoe, and I look kind of funny. But anyway, all right, the few picking in the wild that you did back then should help you now. Yeah, it did. It completely lowered my expectations about being able to pick in the field. And I think one of the first lockouts that I did working as a locksmith, and it was just a Schlage F-Series on an interior office door. And picked and I picked and I picked and I picked. And it never did open by picking. So, yeah. Yep, that's completely accurate. Locksport is great. Don't get me wrong. I don't have one bit of problem people, putting something in a vise and picking it to get it open for fun. That's great. That's how we all got started. Or most all of us got started. And, that's awesome to see that done. But don't expect it to work out in the real world like that, Fonzie, good morning. Get actual workwear with holster pockets. I've got a good pair of 511 shorts, actually, that have been holding up fairly well. I'd like to get another couple pairs now that it's getting warm weather. That was another thing. The last 2 days have been just hot and humid, and yesterday it was rain, and then the sun would come out and steam everything up, and then it would rain some more, and then steam everything. Yeah. Firefighter 1241. I think I have seen those before. I think I've seen those before, but I'm trying to remember if I have some old fire hose at my mom and dad's. I need to look next time I go. So I got, when I was a teenager, I got I think 6 sections of single jacketed 1.5 inch standpipe hose. And, of course, I played with it all the time because I was junior fireman back then. And anyway, and Jay, I know where you're going with that. So just text me later. Anyway. But yeah, I might have to look for that. I could convert that into something. Multipliers, box cutter, shrum tool, screwdriver, pistol of the day, EDC. Yep. I do. Let's see. I carry my key fob with all my little pokey tools on it, which I will try to remember. Somebody remind me next Saturday morning before I actually start live to grab that and bring it in for show and tell. I carry that. That. I've got my wallet, Leatherman, my pick kit, and let's see. Yeah, badge and gun. I always carry that. It's all concealed. You can't tell that it's there. But I carry all that. And then what else do I carry? And then, of course, going out to a job, I grab whatever. But, let's see, leather pocket protector, okay. And that's why I built those displays for covert entry training, more realistic. Yeah. One day, I would love to have just a door mounted on a rolling frame so we can do some stuff with it. Because, that's going to be it's going to be more realistic. Obviously, it's not going to have the weathering. It's, if I hang the door, it'll probably have some drag and be out of alignment and everything, which is realistic. Let's see, started lockpicking when I went to work for a maintenance company. Good experience. Yep. Jay, yeah, I knew you were going to find something to talk about with the hose. No, Rune was really makes it realistic is, of course, the door's out of whack. Which, of course, as a locksmith, first you fix the door, then you fix the lock. And then you have the helicopter customer who's like, well, I worked on this, and I did that, and I swapped this out. And they're trying to explain to you what they've done. And you're just like, And if I walk up before I even touch the door, and the person says, well, I put a bunch of graphite and WD-40 in there trying to see if that would fix it. I literally, I've done this. I've stopped and I turn and I look and I say, you put graphite in there? Yeah. Okay. We charge extra for that. And I let them know up front. There is, same for, well, I tried to fix it before you got here. No, that's not how this works. You pay extra for that. Jeez. Maintenance guys don't use picks. We use drills. Ugh. Functioning half door on wheels would be great. Yeah, it would be pretty cool. North Carolina doesn't have reciprocity with Tennessee. Talking about locksmith licensing or concealed carry? Because since I'm still a sworn officer, I can carry anywhere in the country. except for federal properties. But yeah, locksmith licensing, I know that's really strictly maintained in Tennessee. Yeah, I took it apart for you. I had a customer yesterday. It was one of my coworker went, and she doesn't really do access control, but she had the job there doing some rekey and some other work. And anyway, long story short, we wound up getting the wrong electric stripe to swap out on the door. She's on vacation, and so I went to swap it out, and I'm like looking at what's there, and I'm looking at the new stuff in my hand, and I'm like, yeah, this isn't gonna work. I called the boss. I said, just making sure I'm thinking right, but this ain't gonna work, is it? And he's like, nope. I said, okay. Put the old one back. Said, sorry, they sent us the wrong parts. And the guy there is a business, commercial, obviously, with electric stripe. He said, well, we also need a new handle on this door, lever set. And he said, this one doesn't work right. That's why we've got it taped. And they had tape over the latch and everything. Okay. I said, do you have a key to it? Sure, right here. Okay. Yale commercial hardware sucks. Take the tape off the latch. It's obviously storeroom function because there's key cylinder on the outside, nothing on the inside. Put the key in there, turn it, and it retracts the latch. Turn the key the other way, and it retracts the latch. And I looked at him, and I said, okay, what's it not doing? And he said, well, it's not locking open. Yeah, it's not supposed to. Well, that's because I switched the parts out. I did the insides. Okay? It's still working perfectly as designed. But we don't want it to work like that. That's why I tried switching out the insides. Because we have spares for other doors. And I switched it out. Okay. We'll quote you for a new one. Yeah. What's best? Best Schleg and yeah, commercial type locks, apprenticeship 101, do not drill. Yeah. I mean, there are times that you have to drill. Quickset smart key, actually. Get a house lock out with a smart key. That's why I keep, in my little tool bag, I keep a couple of the smart key cylinders. Keep several more in the truck for work. And, I mean, if you get there, it's supposed to be a quick lockout, and you see that, chuck up the spider, drill it out, and swap out the core, and have a nice day. Fonzie Carey. Okay, yeah. They change the reciprocity all the time. Alan Corson, use my picks all the time at the hospital. Yeah. I mean, when I was working police, full time, this kit stayed in my pocket all the time. See, Schlag deadbolts with concealed screws. Someone glued the cover. Oh God, no. Good morning, Securitech. Let's see, can cops carry on an airplane? Only under very, very specific circumstances, and it's pretty much just not worth it. Yeah. Not aware of any AHJ which has locksmith licensing that has reciprocity. Gotcha. New York State recognizes New York City licenses because it can't be bothered to set up their own licensing system. Oh yeah, under the door tool goes with me. Any commercial lockout, especially like in an office building or when we get called to one of the shopping malls in the area to do a commercial lockout. Yeah, I have my picks, Houdini, a rag, and under the door tool. and I walk in, and that's how I get it done. DIY custom jury rig. Yep. So you got a call the real estate agent the other week. Lock didn't have a key to her old place, and I fixed all the locks but that one. Because it didn't have a key blank for it. Gotcha. Yep. Drill and fill, but only fill with the right stuff. So, holy crap, we've been talking for like 40 minutes and not done anything. Alright, I told Jeff Moss that I would take apart an ASA cylinder. I've got a few here. I was going to go into looking at them, but we'll look at a few things. Let me bring the camera around. How many of you out there do, like, carry ASA? I know Jason does. We don't at our shop. We do Medico, and we do Multi-Lock, and we've got several restricted keyways. God, that's like seasick type motion. But anyway, we like I said, we do all those others. We do not do ASA. There are several locksmiths in the area who do like only ASA. They don't have any type of restricted keyway system, that's not high security. They don't have a variety. You either get your Schlage or whatever it is you have that's open keyway, or you get their ASA. There's no in between. We actually offer in between, which I think is pretty cool. But these are ones that I took off a job. I showed them a while back. All the lever cylinders, which these lever cylinders are, if you're not familiar, you see a lever cylinder that's like this, where the face of the plug is smaller than the shell. That's a Sargent cylinder. Sargent Hardware has a small cutout, I guess, so that it blends in and, looks nice or something. But, yeah. Sargent cylinders are a pain when you got to replace them, and you don't have Sargent lever cylinders. Always keep a few, because you never know when you might run into it. At least here in the U.S. So you carry no clue why there's space over or under a door in America. Now, room is not always like wide open. Sometimes there's like a 1/16 of an inch, and that's it. And I hate those, because those are normally the doors that I can't get picked. I mean, eventually I do. Let's see, smart key locks get a heavy-duty Craftsman screwdriver, tapping into the slot, a pair of vice grips, open it up. Yeah, that's one way to do it. Need room under our doors for spiders and snakes to get in and out. James, I thought that in Australia, I thought that the spiders and snakes were like big enough they could just reach up and open the doors themselves. Yeah, nah. So you did the V-twin way back. Okay. Morning, Anthony. Yeah, I was just wondering, because, like I said, we do a variety of stuff. And this key is set up kind of how we do our high security keys or restricted keys. We have down here, the center bottom, is we have a customer number. This isn't our key, because, like I said, we don't do ASA. But like this number here would be the customer file number. Then under a master system, we do the whatever the key designation is. So this one is AB1. Of course, under a master system, you would have like A, AB, AA, and then you'd have AB1, AB2, AB3, blah, 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 blah. And then over here in this top right-hand corner, we have the key number. So, this is AB1 under file 536 and key number 1. This one you can see is AB1, same job, key number 3. That way, when you hand out keys to people, you assign them and say, okay, Tim got key number 3, James got key number 1, and that way, if you find a key laying in a parking lot, which you never should, but it's been known to happen, just like I found the M-Heart master key to the schools laying in a school parking lot when I was working school resource officer. Yeah, you you shouldn't leave your keys laying in a parking lot. But anyway, that way you can tell exactly who it was that lost it. Let's see here. You can do that as well. That's why we don't use smart locks. Just drop there. You can open them easily. Someone unknown has number 2. Good thing it got replaced. Yeah. Unfortunately, this customer did not want to replace with another high security system. But, they got what they wanted to pay for, which was a master key system. It was I think we did a LA keyway. Yeah, we did Sergeant, because there were some Sergeant, plus it was all Sergeant hardware. Something that's interesting on here, you can see right up there at the front, somebody slid this cap right through the top, like 3 curls of the spring. You're not supposed to do that. And yes, I took the cam off the back, but I'm going to try. I can get the camera tightened in here. There we go. I'm going to try to just slide this back. Let me grab a pick. Because these, like, with Medico and with ASA, multi-lock, you're supposed to load them all from the top chambers, like from the top, and then you cap it. Poor kids at the school. Yeah. Poor me at the school. Let's see. Where? Okay, now I need my Leatherman, because I need some pliers. Can't believe I don't have pliers out here. Jeez. Yeah. Not completely unexpected though, because I've got several doors that are dragging. That might help. What it helps do is yet to be seen. Shit. Where are some pliers? No, I've got some somewhere. Alright, give me 5 seconds to go around and grab some pliers. Sorry, be right back. Alright. Gotta have pliers for these. There we go. I think if you watch the slow-mo, might have just had some springs escape. I don't see them laying around here. I didn't hear them hit the floor. Let's see. By the way, interesting key profile. Do not have any of the American acid profiles in my collection. Okay, yeah, we can do that, Rune. Wonder if customers, after they refuse a higher security lock, ever get a whole. It was that. Yeah. Yeah, I do need a good pair of pliers in here. Just to keep in here and in the car. See, while you take the key pins and drivers out from the top, you can push the core out with the block sidebar without having the key because the grooves go all the way to the front. Cool. Now, I know I get a hard time about the door needing lubricant, but I actually like squeaky doors in my house. And I actually ask customers when I'm at their house, commercial, I do it. And, you know, I just give them, you know, just lubricate commercial doors. But, at people's houses, they may want to have a squeaky door like I do. Because it's sort of like a little alarm. Chamber 2 was empty. That pisses me off. I had a rekey job Wednesday. It was an all-day job, residential, big residential with multiple buildings, master key system, and the house had CES profile cylinders for hoppy locks. And, well, where'd that come out of? Is that out of 1 or 2? That's out of 1. Okay. So, yeah, 2 had nothing. Anyway, with the CES cylinders, I found that something like none of them had all 5 pins, like all 5 chambers pinned. And one of them only had 2 chambers pinned. That pisses me off, you know? I mean, I understand sometimes doing certain things with certain locks in certain applications, you know, okay, maybe you can't get it to work missing 1 chamber. Okay, just to get it to work for 1 lock missing 1 chamber, you've still got 4 others. I get that happens. But you should not have multiple cylinders and some of them have no, you know, no pin, you know, or only 2 pins in there. Yeah, that's just, don't do that. There's a little master wafer right there. Okay. So, yeah, we got master wafers in 3 of them. And then we have, of course, those evil drivers, top pins. And there's the housing. That. Take our sidebar out. Which, of course, if you're not familiar, the sidebar has, let's see. Do I really want to do all this? I wonder who's running the leaf blower right outside my house. The guy that was going to mow my yard this weekend hadn't even showed up yet. Sidebar spring. And correct me if I'm wrong, but don't these, like, when you're on like when you're a locksmith and you have don't they come sub-assembled? Like the sidebar's already assembled to your sidebar that you have? Is that correct? Let me keep everything in order. At least try to. Like I said, I don't think I've ever taken one this far apart before. Maybe. Little tiny spring. Little tiny spring. Happy little spring. Get back up there. Well, that one's not coming out. Do that. Just the springs aren't coming out, and there we go. Oh geez, get out. I do this. There we go. Cool. All right. So that's that. Now I guess this is where I zoom in so you can see all the parts are there after I picked it. But I didn't pick it. So, oh well. Let's see. Let's look at the chat here. Man, I missed a lot of the chat. No, I do not have my Nipex XS in my watch pocket. You won't sneak in with this. Nope. That's why I like it. Quick, everyone leave and come back in 5 minutes. Can't do that with the Medico. Can't do what? What can't you do with the Medico? Yeah, push it out. Yeah. Yeah, Medico doesn't work that way. Well, the Houdini is out. Someone did a bodge job when they had to rekey that cylinder. Yeah, probably. Yeah, 3 out of 6 springs in bed. Nah. I mean, as long as it all works, right? Sounds like your chair. It's a medical facility the other day. Manager asked me to fix a slow door closer. First I have to fix the door closer, then I'll see what I can do about the squeak. I've been waiting to find another door closer that makes that sound that made everybody laugh as soon as they heard it. Yeah. Say, there's your squeak. Stepped on a frog. See, I get so many people at the moment. My key is really hard to get in and out of the lock. Like, here's some lube, and bang, it works like new. Yep, flush it with Houdini, blow it out with air, and then spritz some Houdini in there, and you're good to go. Or whatever your Australian equivalent of Houdini is. If it is a big system, and I'll cut values 1 to 9, goes in one chamber, it's better to leave that chain very empty. Yeah. See, last time I priced it, it cost around $21 to populate a cylinder. Yeah. We, to rekey high security is definitely a lot more than regular commercial. And yeah, I mean, like I said, we don't do ASA, but we do Medico, and Medico's getting really expensive Yeah, Delp, we actually do charge a clean and lube fee. I mean, it's $10, but uh, yeah, we definitely charge that. So if we come out and that's all it needs, then you get a trip charge and a clean and lube charge. So yeah, definitely, because I mean, of course, that doesn't say Houdini right there, but it is Houdini. We all know that it's Houdini. Night Owl can send me the documents to back up that it's Houdini, I'm sure. But yeah, I mean, it's expensive. You know, whatever lube, that's, you know, what you're doing. So you really start charging. The sidebar is a healthy chunk of it. Gotcha. Yeah. I mean, like Medico, we get them, they're sub-assembled, so the sidebar's already, you know, in there and everything. We just have to populate the pins. But we've got our own keyway for Medico, because I mean, with the M4 you get the sidebar with the finger pins like ASA, but we do M3. We're not looking to go to M4 anytime soon. Let's see. Still sounds way too cheap. Gotta buy your own sidebars. Gotcha. Open keyways come with their sidebar, of course. Charge also. Gotcha. Yeah. Yep. CNL. Charge your CNLs. Doubt you losing money. If all you gotta do is lube it, they're paying for your knowledge to know that all you gotta do is lube it. And of course you charge your trip charge. Yep. Yeah, squeaky doors are how I used to keep track of my ex too. Not that I really cared after a few years, but you know, yeah. Let's see. All right, Alan, have a good one. We're gonna start wrapping it up. I just said I was gonna blow it up. I didn't say I was gonna blow it up, because that's actually what I was gonna try to put in the title. Is, you know, we're gonna blow something up, but I figured YouTube might not appreciate that. So we're not gonna put that in the description. But you know, when you blow up a cylinder like this and take everything apart and all that good stuff, yeah, it's kind of fun to see. If you've never seen it, I think it's kind of fun to see. Really still don't want to have to ever do that in the field. I did have to do that with a Medico one time. It needed a full flush out. I mean, it needed the chassis lube and the oil changed. But I mean, it worked. Plus the key was a little wonky. They bent it a little bit. We have 2-in-1 lock lube here, inox lube. All right, Jason. I'm gonna try to make it a little bit. I gotta do like all my normal Sunday stuff today, which I'm actually a day ahead on laundry, so it's not that bad. But doing all my Sunday stuff today because I'm gonna be tied up tomorrow, making a little bit of overtime. But I'll try to catch you here in a little bit. So Jason's coming on live in about 50 minutes. So please go by and stop and say hello. But yeah, now I know it's about impossible just to get anything, even a postcard, sent to Australia right now, but it'd be really cool to find you some good lubricant like Houdini that is available to you, because Houdini is wonderful. Houdini or Really, I need to get some tri-flow for working on safe stuff. Because you really kind of need that Teflon in, is it Teflon in tri-flow or is it silicone? I think it's Teflon. Yeah, Teflon in tri-flow. Really kind of need that stuff. But, let's see, can we have a look at those ASA pins? Yeah. Let me get y'all back around here. Ooh. Yep. Swells are high on the seas today. Around. Well, I'm getting camera positioned. Go. You wanted to look at the sidebar pins, Rune. Yeah, there's some false gates there, I would say. Above and below. Yeah. And let's see if this one's any different. They're all looking to be about the same, actually. Yeah. Pins are a little bit worn. And the last one. Here we go. Side pins. Do you have all? Houdini would cost $200 to get posted to you. Yeah. Okay. So your ASA cylinders, the false gates go all the way around the pin instead of just on the side that faces the sidebar itself. Okay. It's pretty cool. It's showing up actually really well on camera too. Yep. And then here is the sidebar. So you can see the different levels for the gates. And of course, it's based on the different heights for the side cutout on the key. All right, cool. Anything else, Rune? Let's see. Different generations use different sidebar pin designs. I have the early design, probably so. This building was, I'd say, roughly 30 years old, maybe. Maybe a little bit older than that. And the lock hardware, it's kind of hard to tell because it was an office, not like a, industrial. But it looked to be at least 20 years old. See, the early version of the asses are all the way around. Twin Pro. Gotcha. Dana's are full rings. Okay. All right, cool. Jason's going to show one later. Awesome. Cool. All right. All right, guys. So, yeah. No, wait. This is awkward. Yeah. No, this doesn't work. Y'all coming back over on this side. Y'all get off of my side of the bench. Get off of my side of Splinter. Anyway. All right. So we're going to start to wrap it up here. That way everybody can have a break during a break before Jason's. Jason needs to go, and I need to go and get stuff done as well. Like I said, because I'm actually gonna work some tomorrow, swapping out some of those icy cylinders. It's not a job where I have to meet somebody there to do stuff, or at least most of them. But anyway, we can just kind of walk in and out anytime to do it. So I'm gonna try to do that. That's how they should be on an acid square bow design. Gotcha. Okay, cool. All right, folks. Well, let's start to wrap it up here, and really appreciate y'all coming out. This week's probably not going to be any better than last. My schedule's already full through Wednesday, including another safe move. We did that the other day. Flame Vault 2, what was it? 231? It's one of the Flame Vault 2 series. One of those numbers. Big ass safe. Boss and I hauled it up. I think it was something like 15 steps. Yeah. That wasn't fun. We did it. About killed us, but we did it. And then hauled the old safe, which was thankfully much smaller. Hauled that out of the space. So, anyway, yeah. See. Yep, everybody go see Legless Lockpicker's giveaway on his channel. See, all right, James, go to bed. Have a good night. Feel better soon. See, just looked it up, and Pulford LPP has the V10 and later design. So yeah, this is the, on the keys, this is the Twin Maxim, or Maximum. Your numbers over top of it. Maximum. That's it. Anyway. All right. Yeah. Anthony, I don't think I said hello to you, but I did see you come in earlier, so appreciate it. Twin Maximum. I see. That's why it's time to be done. I can't talk. So anyway, y'all have a great one. Appreciate y'all showing up. Stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy. May none of your locks have graphite in them this week, and stay out of trouble. We'll see you next time.